Sup guys, it's Anderson 977 here today to do Hunter x Hunter episode 144 review, right? Hunter x Hunter 2011 episode 144 review. Now, this episode of Hunter x Hunter was mostly exposition, didn't have any action in it basically at all. All the main focus was on the election, seeing as though the election has been going on for a couple episodes now. So I'm guessing that it's the mainstay focus for right now so that they can finish off and get on to other matters at hand, including guns, condition, how he will be healed and so on. But just also about bringing that up, right? We get to see that Killua has now reached the not the hospital but this kind of empty warehouse where Gun's bed is, and Gun is being there, covered by all of this like intensive care unit stuff. So he's in critical condition still, and he, I guess, doesn't show any signs of improvement. So Killua and Aluka being there to save him is very tantamount to him. But it just so happens that Killua has to somewhat wait because of Nanika's actions last episode where she healed Subone's hand, and because of that she fell asleep and she's been sleeping ever since. So right now basically Killua is waiting for Aluka to wake up before she can, before Killua and Aluka can both heal Gun together, because Killua will be the one making the request so that Nanika can do the action of healing Gun. Now, onto the matter of this, whole election with everything going on, right? At the very beginning of this episode, we see Jin and Sheedle begin to talk, right? Jin and Sheedle are talking, and basically Sheedle is letting Jin know that she wants to win, but she doesn't know what to do. And basically they're talking about Pariston, because Pariston up until this point has the most votes. He's in first position. So they're kind of desperate. They don't know what to do. They're trying to figure out what to do to beat Pariston. Well, rather, Sheedle is trying to figure out what to do to beat Pariston. But basically, Jin is letting her know that Pariston is like a game to him. He doesn't necessarily want to win. And I think Jin is also letting her know that he's planned out everything. He knows Shield's behavior. He knows her temperament. He knows her personality very well. He knows what will make her upset and all of that. So Jin is basically letting her know that Shield has a basically bird's eye view of the entire situation, and that this is all basically a game to him. And Shield is there asking for Jin to help, but Jin doesn't necessarily want to pinpoint the help, to pinpoint directly what she needs to do to help her. He basically, I'm guessing, just wants to let things flow and happen as they should happen. And so she is there not wanting rather, for Pariston to win the election, because in the Zodiac group themselves, right, especially with Ko, as we see, they call him Mizai, I think, but I just call him Ko. Especially with Ko, he's a double star crime hunter. So he says that deliberately, he says in this episode that he does not have deliberate proof, and that Pariston could be 100% free of all crimes, but there's no denying the fact that he has underground connections, right? And it's for that very same reason that the former chairman Netero made him vice chairman, so that he could keep a closer watch on Pariston. So seeing as though the former chairman is no longer there, they're saying that they'll do whatever it takes to not let Pariston get the lead. So they're pulling out all the stops. How he went up, he basically uses himself as a sacrificial lamb to give his voice to Sheeta. Then unexpectedly Sheeta goes up, use herself as a sacrificial lamb of sorts to give votes to Leorio, right? When Leorio went up, right, he had a very captivating and motivating speech to such an extent that all the members in the stadium or wherever they were clapping, right? So they were very impressed with how he cares about his friend Gun, and about how he's very determined, wanting to do his best at all costs. He's willing to do what it takes to heal his friend Gun. He doesn't want Gun to be lying there in the hospital, being, I guess, vegetable for the rest of his life if things don't change, right? And it's basically saying about how Gun went into the camera ant war with Killua, you know, uniting with his friends, basically fighting with the risk of losing his life to fight against these dangerous chimera ants, which, you know, we all know that these guys, they are no joke, especially the what you call it, the lieutenants, right, the second in command apart from Miriam. Those guys, no, sorry, not lieutenant, royal guards, especially the royal guards, right? Those guys are no joke, they are mighty powerful. So you know, he's there, he's basically letting them know that if he wins, he'll do everything in his power to help his friend Gon. Everybody loved his speech, they were all clapping. And then Pariston came up, right? And this is also something to note. When Shield was there, basically using herself as a sacrificial lamb to give Leorio votes, Pariston wasn't expecting that move from her, and he, in fact, wasn't smiling at that point, right? As Gin says, he's viewing all of this going on as a game. He doesn't take this very serious. Jin says he doesn't want to win, but at the same time, he doesn't want to lose. So at that point, Pariston, you know, he wasn't in his usual smiling, carefree mode. He was kind of puzzled, at least for a couple of minutes, about what to do. And then all of a sudden, we see, and then after that point, when Pariston's speech came up, Pariston was there just talking about, you know, giving the conditions of what it means to be a good leader, a good chairman leader, and his conditions, they all make sense. Basically saying that first they need combat ability, the appropriate combat ability, right? There can't be any there can't be any bitches. They need to be able to handle themselves in combat. Two, they need experience, and three, you know, the right caliber. So these points that he brings up, they all make perfect sense. And him in person bringing them up, right, he goes on to say about how he believes Cole will be the actual best candidate to be the chairman of the Hunter Association, right? Out of the blue, just like that. So everyone who goes up, right, they don't nominate themselves. That is so ironic. Everyone out of the top 4 guys with all the votes, none of them nominate themselves. But it's this constant back and forward, you know, oh, I'll nominate you instead of me, and all of this shit going on. So right now things is puzzling, it's all over the place, right? Cole and Cole and Shield, they are both teaming up. They don't want Pariston to win. Leorio is basically like a wild card. He is highly favored for good reason. You know, people like him from the whole incidences going down with when he first appeared on Punch Jin and his old speech. You know, they see that he's a very sincere, good-natured dude. So they do like him. And Pariston, you know, he naturally being the more popular one because he is the one going in there with the most votes. So right now at this point, you know, it could be anyone's guess, I believe, but we both know that Cole and Shield, they are going to do their best to try to prevent Pariston from winning, whatever that means, right? Seems like they're going to come up with another plan next episode. But overall, I believe that this was a good episode of Hunter x Hunter. Liked it very much, like everything that was going on. Even though there's no action, it's still, you know, brain, you know, it's still like mind, some mind crunching moments in there. You're like, you know, trying to keep up to pace with the action, like what is really going on. Well, not really physical action, but you know, with the pace of the story, with the narration and everything that's going on, you're trying to figure out what really is going on. So I like that pretty much. But overall, that's it. That's my review. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Sayonara.